Evening, everyone. It's 5:55, and this is your closing comment. It's video number 536 on Monday evening, and I want to remind you of two things. First, our performance in the futures has been pretty good. We have a couple of accounts that are up in the neighborhood of 5 or 6%, and that's occurred in the last week and a half at the most. So we're doing well there. We also took some profits today in our position in BlackBerry, and we also bought some gold. And the gold is the chart on the screen, and it closed about mid-range, although it was down $7, but nowhere near the low. And the low happened to coincide almost exactly with the 50-day moving average. So I'm looking for a move back up, even if it only goes into resistance up here at 1844. That will be a nice trade. Zoom, which is one of the stocks that I cover in the digital stress test piece that's in the letter, reported after the close, and they beat both top and bottom. Monster numbers, really monster numbers. Revenues up 376%, customer count higher, the really profitable customers that they're also up dramatically, and the earnings were well above in line. The stock had closed at 478.36, up 675, and right after the earnings came, they took the stock all the way down to 428. But it was there for about a nanosecond, and the last on it, as we go to press here, was 456, down 15. So for a company that has had, a 500% rally, down 15 at 456 hardly looks like much of an issue. The Dow was down 271.73. That was 0.91. It had been down at 440. So it closed about 2/3 of the way down on the range, but nowhere near the low. The NASDAQ fell by $7.11, really nothing much there. And the S&P finished down 1672, and during the day I saw that down about 40. So that came back. The Russell was the big loser today, down 1.3%, $35.25. And the transports down 111 and change, 0.89. Market internals on the NYSE were 2.2 to 1 down. On the NASDAQ, they were just 1.7 to 1 down. But I will mention that we had really big volume today, probably about 40% over what we've been seeing. We also had news that the OPEC meeting broke up without any resolution. It's a virtual meeting, and they're going to talk again tomorrow. The oil was down 19 cents on the day at 45.34, even though it traded almost $1 lower at 44.42. The gold, as I said, was down about $7, and we bought some GLD calls. Bitcoin came roaring back. We were down pretty hard on Friday because we were down Thursday and Friday on this. This is an international market, so it trades really all the time. Today, it gapped back to the upside pretty dramatically. I mentioned it in this morning's opening comment, but I'll give you a look at it in here, and you absolutely will not believe how strong it was. The low for the day was 18,000 and change. We closed all the way down here. The low for today is all the way up here, and we broke 20,000 again. In fact, new recovery high, 20,260, and we closed up 2,805. Now, this is a future contract. So when you see that on the news that Bitcoin was up 1,300, that's all well and fine, but not exactly. This is the more accurate market. The dollar hit a new recent low, a 30-month low at 91.49, but it rallied to close up minorly at 91.86. Bonds were unchanged. The disaster du jour, Nikola. Today was the day for the announcement for the GM Nikola deal, and there is no deal, or there is no deal that resembles what it looked like before. The stock Nikola was trading at 39.5 this morning before the news, and then GM came out and said, we're not making the $2 billion investment in the company, and we're not building your truck. Basically, the stock was literally cut in half. It's trading just a shade over $20. So even though 39.5 was up big on the day, and $20 and change is down $6, it was from the high to the low, cut in half. Moderna efficacy 94.1%. The stock closed up $25 or 20% at 152.74. By the way, on the GM deal, the GM was also down 122, but I don't think that it had anything to do with the deal. I think it had more to do with profit taking. Apple it was raised to a buy from a hold at Loop Capital. The stock finished 119.05, up 246. Another merger that I mentioned this morning, S&P Global buying IHS Market, which is INFO. So SPGI 351.78, up $10.21 for a 3% move. Info 99.46, up 6.88 or 7.4%. So, this is a good deal on both sides, and both companies got rewarded. Just a word of warning. Some of these things, like Nikola, that have come out of the woodwork are really questionable. Excuse me. Candy, KNDI, written up by Hindenburg. The Hindenburg wrote up, I think that they wrote up Nikola too. In any event, the stock has gone from $5.80 10 days ago to $17.50, and tonight it's trading at a shade over $9, down 4.5 or 32%. Hindenburg said they have nothing. It's a short. It's a fraud. It's a scheme. Stay away from it. So that kind of jibes with what I've been telling you about a lot of the Chinese companies. There's no audit. There's no way to follow them, really. And when the momentum stops, like musical chairs, when the music stops and you don't have a chair, you're out of luck. Okay, so that's about it. I want to remind everyone to get in touch with me on the futures if you're interested there. And if you like my work, please hit the subscribe button. Have a good evening. I'll be back first thing in the morning.